Let's continue our series on how to do sound stuff. Okay, so we have turned on the sound system. We have a video for that one. If you haven't already seen that, you can check it out. We've turned on the sound system and we're going to look at how we can select the scene to use for our given application. Now, if this were an analog board, all these knobs and everything, all the buttons would kind of be fixed in place physically. If you wanted it to move, you would have to, change the settings. And then let's say somebody came in and moved things around, they would obviously remain in that position until when you turned it back on. But with a digital board, you can set all the parameters where you want them to be, save them as a scene, and when you reload that scene, everything will be just where it was when you saved that scene last time. So let's look at how we can load a scene. I just turned on the board. It's already on the Sunday scene, which is fine. But let me show you how to get there if it's not on the Sunday scene for some reason. First thing, you navigate to the right side of the board where it says Scenes, and you hit the View button. When you do that, the main screen will show a little something like this. You'll notice the tab that's currently highlighted is the Cues tab. We want to move that over and highlight the Scenes tab to find them. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the Page Select button over to the right, and that will navigate us to the right. So right, left. Anyway, so we're in the Scenes tab now, and you'll notice Scene 00 is not Sunday. However, we want to look at the Sunday scene because we're going to assume that's where we're working with for a Sunday service. To move it around, we have our far left encoder, and you just rotate it, and that will move the cursor up and down, and we go all the way down to scene 99. You'll notice there's a bunch of other scenes in here. Most of them are not really active or in use. We're using Sunday morning as kind of our go-to for church things. All right, to load up the scene, you click the encoder in as if it were a button. So push the knob in, and it will return everything to wherever it was the last time the scene was saved. Now let's say you make some changes to the scene, whether something was goofy or somebody, who knows, any number of things can change that require, let's say, a permanent change. You don't want it to stay the same for the next time we use it. If that's the case, you might want to run it by, especially if you're new to doing this, you might want to run it by a more experienced team member before you save any changes to the scene. But just so we know how to do it, here's how you would save a new scene. So we're going to highlight the Sunday morning scene. If we wanted to save it as is, you'll notice the second option down here is the Save button. If you click in this button, you will save whatever is currently going on the board. You will save it to scene 99 when you click this encoder. So when you click this encoder, it'll open up a little menu where you can change the name. We want to keep it Sunday morning. Generally what we would do is we would change the date to whatever the date is that you have that you're saving it. To do that, you've got these little cursors down here. You can go left and right with the character select on the what letter you're doing. You can go up and down with the character select. You can move the cursor around, like where you're typing letters in. So it's a little tricky, but once you get there, it's all good. Anyway, and that's how you could save the scene. Now, when you do hit the Save button, it's the far right encoder over here. When you hit that Save button, it'll ask to confirm that you want to do this. And that little left-right arrow, that's just referring to the left-right arrow over here. So if you hit the right arrow, that'll confirm and save and overwrite. Everything that's in scene 99 will now be swapped to whatever all the settings are on the board. I'm going to go ahead and hit the left arrow to cancel. But that is how you could save a scene with any updates you might have. Now, there are other things you can do. You can use a USB drive to import settings from the X32 software from the computer when that's all up and running normally. But usually we try to keep everything in the board just to be safe. So that's how you load a scene and how you also save a scene. There you go.